What's going on, YouTube, man? Today is Friday morning. I just want to go ahead and get into something real quick. Now, you know that, basically I gave you guys the first rule. And the first rule was start thy purse to fattening. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm covering the richest man in Babylon, and he has 7 cures to become wealthy, and things that you need to have in your life, and principles and practices in order to become wealthy. So we know the first one is start thy purse to fattening. We got that down pat. And basically what that means is, that means that you should learn how to create income. Don't necessarily depend on a job. If you need to go out and do something on the side, use your own idea, use your passion, do whatever you have to do, make more money. Okay? That's understood. All right? Now, here's the second one. And this is one that I think a lot. Now when I say Americans, I don't want to just include Americans. I want to include everybody, because no matter where you are in the world, these principles will work. Okay? And this one is called control thy expenditures. And that's as simple as can be. What that means is, guys, let the debt go. It is not a cool thing to be in debt. Now, another good book that I'm reading right now is a book called Stop Acting Rich. Now, that's another one you guys should pick up. And basically, the premise of this book is, it talks about people who, who have the Mercedes-Benz, who have the BMWs, the big houses, and all these other things, right? But they can't afford them. Do you know that most people who have $1 million homes aren't millionaires? Doesn't that seem a little bit odd to have $1 million home but you're not a millionaire? Okay, but then they talk about how having a huge home in a nice neighborhood spirals all these things. Like if you live in a nice house, you can't park a old station wagon in a nice house. You got to get a BMW because your neighbors have one. You can't wear bad clothes. You can't come out. You got to wear Polo and Banana Republic because your neighbors buy these things. Everything that your neighbors are doing, you have to do. But guess what? Real millionaires don't live in huge houses. They live in middle class neighborhoods. So control thy expenditures is basically saying, look, credit cards should not be used. Guys, sometimes say, well, I use credit cards for emergencies. Okay? Why can't you save 3 to 6 months of expenses of your own cash and use that for emergencies? And guess what? When you pay for an emergency with your own money, guess what? You no longer have an emergency. How many times have we had credit cards, right? And then emergency comes. And then we say, okay, we're just going to pay the minimum payments. Then 2 weeks later, boom, another emergency comes. Now you put that on the credit card. Now you're paying for 2 emergencies. And then if things keep going piling up, those minimum payments are not going to pay off that credit card as soon as possible. So all you're going to have is emergencies piling up, trips piling up, because you got to put a trip on a credit card. It's no longer can we save to go on a trip. We need to put it on a credit card. But then when you spend money that's not yours, you actually end up spending more. So do we see the cycle here? The cycle is you won't get that wealthy if you're broke and if you have debt. And you can't save money when you have debt. Because guess what? If you weren't sending your money to your debt, you could be sending the money to investments and having those growing. All right? So we got 2 rules. Start thy purse to fattening. Build yourself up to a 6-figure income. Believe that you can do it. All right? And number 2, control thy expenditures. 2 simple rules so far. So far, it doesn't seem like anything is out of the ordinary, over our head. 2 things. Make more money. Don't make bills. All right? Now, some of us are in that second category. Some of us are having problems with the first category. Let me hear your thoughts. Let me hear your suggestions or whatever you may have, and then we'll take it on to the third step. So until next time, signing off.